Welcome back to Hot Flashes and Cool Topics. Today, we are going to have a conversation that so many women are going to want to listen to. And we are welcoming Lori Kaplan to the show. She is nicknamed the Fairy Bra Mother, and we are excited to talk to you about all things breast related. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You have been doing this for over 40 years, and you have sized women like Bette Midler and Barbara Streisand. But how did you get into doing this as a career?
Okay, it's a long story.
That's okay. We have time.
Basically, is I had to drop out of school when I was a teenager to help my mom support the family because my dad died unexpectedly when I was 15 years old.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
I cut all the typing classes back in those days. You know, you could take office skills and things like that, and I didn't like it, so I didn't go to those classes. So I couldn't type. I didn't have any secretarial skills, and I found myself at 18 years old needing a full-time job back in the 1970s. And there really wasn't a place for me except in retail. And I started working for this guy who had a shop in the Rockefeller Center area. And because of the proximity to the theaters, the wardrobe people for all the shows would come in asking, do you have this? Do you have G-strings? Do you have sheer to the waist support hose? I need a dance belt. And he didn't carry any of those things. That wasn't how, what his business was. But when I came along and I started to hear, it's like, oh, we're going to need 6 dozen tights every week, I took over how that business was run and managed. And I was with that guy for 20 years, took him through 2 expansions. And he kept promising, don't worry, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to take care of you. And he never did. And I woke up one day in my 40s and I'm still working for him and I had nothing. And during that time, I went back to college and I got a bachelor's degree and a master's degree. And I became restless working for him and said, I'm doing everything to run this business. Why am I still doing it for him? And I had an injury to my knee and something happened at the shop where I asked him to move a big box and he didn't move the box and I re-injured myself and I just stormed out in a huff. He didn't pay his bills, so there was a vendor there repossessing merchandise, which till this day I have never encountered again.
Oh my gosh.
Business. And I just said, you know what? And pardon my French, I said this, and I walked out and I went home and I cried for 2 weeks. 20 years is a long time, and we had a relationship. We were kind of friends. So after 2 weeks of sitting on my couch and crying, my phone started ringing with people said, hi, I was just over at S&S and I need some skin tone G-strings for Black girls. Do you have that? Joel told me no. And I said, yeah, I can get those. And little by little, somebody called me. I'm working on a movie and I need to get some bullet bras and bobby socks and old lady granny panties. And I said, what's the name of your movie? And he said, oh, It's a Beautiful Mind with Russell Crowe. So that was like my first break. And then after that, I got calls from the producers and 42nd Street and Thoroughly Modern Millie. They were all looking for things that the shop that I worked at was known to supply, but they couldn't get it anymore. And within 6 months, I was looking to rent space in the city, and that guy was out of business. And here we are 23 years later.
What a great story. It just goes to show that, when staff is not appreciated, they get the education and they move forward. It doesn't matter that you're in your 40s. You can create a new business because you have the experience.
Yeah. And, you have to be flexible and adapt to the times. And, the world was changing in the late 90s. UPS called us and said, oh, you're not going to be able to handwrite handbills anymore. So you're going to have to do them through a computer. And by the way, we have to do everything through a credit card machine now, and technology started to enter our world. And he didn't like that. He was a technophobe. He was already in his late 60s back then. He didn't have it in him or the curiosity or interest to learn something new. And I did, and I'm still that way. Right now I'm taking Spanish with Duolingo, and I'm taking an English, teaching English as a second language kind of thing, because I'm just curious and I like to learn. And I think education is something you can never have too much of, and it only ends when you're in the grave. So I was already running his business and kind of adapting to changes in the world and the market. So, it was just a scary thing for me. And
Well,
here we
it
are.
worked. I was going to say it worked. It might have been scary, but you took that step and look where you are now. How women and bras, our relationships are not always, a winning relationship. A lot of women either just don't know what to ask, the right questions.
Mhm.
So, and as we get older and they start going south, you don't know what to do. So you're the owner of Bra Tenders, which is a bra in New York, a bra store in New York City, or really lingerie store in New York City. When a woman walks in and she really isn't sure if she's wearing the right size, what's the first thing you ask or look at?
Well, we work by appointment, so we ask people to make appointments, and they spend 45 minutes with somebody whose attention is focused directly on them. And what we ask is, so what's going on with your bra? Tell me the story, your bra story. What are the issues, and what's your life like, and what are you looking to solve today? Because we get people that often make appointments here that have a particular dress or outfit in mind that they need help with undergarments, especially brides. I'm wearing a strapless dress. I have big boobs and I can't find the bustier to fit me, or so it's usually because they don't know what size. The bras that they've been wearing are uncomfortable, and they're tired of the straps falling down and doing this all day and the wiggling around. And after they've tried the online shopping and the back and forth 20 times, and they've been everywhere and tried everything, when they finally come to us and one of our professional fitters can get their eyes on them, they say, you're not a 34B, that's what your problem is, you're a 32E. And
Wow.
then that brings a whole other gamut of problems, because there is no universal sizing in the bra world. So American companies will do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. European companies will do the same. And then there's the British companies that will do C, D, double D, E, F, double F, G, double G, and H. And there is no standard size. So a 34 double D in an American bra is going to fit different than a 34E in a French bra, is going to fit different than a 34E from a full figured brand. So there's little, and what we do here, and our specialty is that we know how all the bras fit, which cups run deep and which ones run shallow and which bands run tight. So it saves a lot of time. You come here and in 30 minutes, you can walk out with a whole bra wardrobe that you haven't been able to do in 20 years.
Well, that sounds almost too easy, because so many, there's a lot to unpack there. So when you walk in, is the tape measure out ready to do the bust size? Like, do we even use that? I was going to say, do we even use tape measures anymore?
We do not. We eyeball. I can look at anybody and usually within one or two guesses get their size spot on. And the other fitters who work here, one is Jasmine, is a graduate of FIT studying lingerie design, and she's also still interested in upping her skills. And then Alex, who works here, is a dresser for Broadway. So they're all familiar with body types and how bras should fit, and we can all just look at somebody and know what size they should be.
If a woman is not able to come into your store, there is virtual, right? Like they can virtually
We
make
do
an
offer
appointment.
virtual. It's a little trickier, because there is still some of that back and forth, but it does save a lot of time, because once we look at you, if you tell me you're a 38 double D and I have my eyeballs on you, I will know that you're a 34G or a double G. So, at least you're going to get a shipment from us in the right ballpark.
Right.
After that, it's just a matter of refining and what's more comfortable for you. You like this band size or that band size? And is that cup adequate, or do we need to go up or down? So there's a fine tuning process that happens with that. But women are relieved when they finally get something that feels good to them, that makes them look how they want to look.
So let me ask you a few questions. One of the first ones that I hear, like, to underwire or not to underwire? Is it important for women who have larger breasts to wear underwire?
For a very long time, that's all that's been available. Well, what an underwire does is, like, it creates a neat little package for your breasts. So it makes the shape prettier. It is not required. It does add some support, but what it does is it provides a container for the breast tissue. Bras without wires have a different shape. It just distributes the weight of the breast tissue differently across the front of the body, and frequently the boobs go east and west and wind up heading towards the armpits.
Okay.
What that does is make your body look wider, and what we're going for is to make you look longer and leaner. And by getting a bra that removes the weight from the side of your body and brings it to the front and sets them up high where they started before 20 years of gravity got at them, it changes the shape of your body. And we have a lot of women that say they feel like they look 10 pounds thinner. And it's true. If you pick your boobs, if they're heavy, if you pick them up off your belly and put them up here, your body, you're going to see your waist and more of your body. So it does create a different shape.
Is it possible to get that lift without wearing underwire? Like, is it possible for a sports bra or something
You
with?
can, but again, it's, the shape is not going to be the same. Your breasts are not going to be centered up here. They're going to be spread out a little wider.
And what about straps? Some women can wear thin straps. Some women can wear thick. Do you get more support from having a thicker strap on your bra?
Well, especially if your breasts are very heavy. An average D cup weighs about 4 pounds. So by the time you're halfway through the alphabet and you're up to a J cup, you're talking about a lot of weight to carry around, and a ribbon is not going to do it. So most of the bras, as the cup sizes go up, the straps get gradually wider. I know a lot of women don't like that, but if you think of something the size of a shoelace trying to hold up 10 pounds of weight, it's going to create a lot of pressure on your neck and shoulders, and we don't like that. The straps from your bra should never dig into your shoulders. That's not where the support comes from. 90% of the support from a bra comes from the band being snug, which is why it's so important to get the right size. And yes, a 38D might fit you if you're a 34G, but it's not going to give you the proper support. It's not going to fit well.
How can a woman, like, if they can't get to you, how can a woman know what to ask, like what to look for in a bra for themselves? Can they do any research on their own so that they walk in and feel like, okay, I know what I'm looking for?
Well, the best thing is anybody who's within a reasonable distance to a store that does bra fittings, they should go and be fit by somebody who knows what to look for, and then tells you, the wires should be back here where your breasts start, not cutting your boob in half over here. You can measure underneath your breast at the very top of your rib cage, and that number will give you ballpark what your band size should be. So if you measure underneath your boobs and you're a 33.5, you round up to a 34. Then you would measure across the fullest part of your bust and say that's a 38. You would subtract 34 from 38 and you get a difference of 4, which would be a D cup. Every letter for a bra size is 1 inch away from the chest wall. So we start counting at B's, not A's, because with A's, there's really no projection there. So we start counting at B. So it would be B, C, D, double D. It would be a 34 double D in our world.
Wow. See, I just had an aha moment. I didn't realize that B, C, D was like an inch away from your chest wall.
Yeah.
Wow. See, so many things that we are not
stand up straight like that.
Right. What happens if they're like a G, but they're down at your hips? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So it's really important to find something that's going to lift them and support them. That's not going to kill your back, shoulders, and neck.
what about women who complain that like either the back rides up between their shoulder blades or they get those strap marks? What are they doing wrong?
If the bra is between the shoulder blades, that means the band is too big. And then they're making the straps too tight, trying to get that lift that they can't get because the band is too big. So, if the back of your bra is up here, then everything that's in the front is down here.
Like a seesaw is what you're saying.
It is. And you want the back of your bra to be in exactly the same place that it is in the front. It should be anchored and they should be perpendicular to the floor, and it should be the same in the front and the back. They shouldn't be up high between your shoulder blades or down around your waist.
What about how often should we change our bras?
Every year.
Every
The average
year. Well,
life
because
of a
they're
bra,
so expensive every year.
yep, elastic doesn't live forever. Uh, your body chemicals, your sweat, whatever soap and lotions and potions you add to your body interact with the fibers from the bra and break it down. And, an average bra is designed to live between 6 months and a year. The more bras you have in your rotation, the longer each one will live. If you have one bra and you wear it every single day, that bra is going to need to be replaced probably by 6 months.
And the best way to clean your bras.
Soak them in the sink, hand wash, gentle, and drip dry. The machines kind of beat them up, and the heat from the dryers eats the elastic.
Okay, that's good to know. Are there certain brands as we get over 40, 50 that are better better addressing the needs of women in our demographic? Are there certain brands we should look for?
There are so many brands today. I can't say that that's true anymore. Wacoal is one of the biggest manufacturers in the world, and they make bras for petite figures and average figures and full figures, and they now own a British company. So they do band sizes down to 28 and cup sizes up to double K, English sizes. So any of the Fantasy, Eveden, Wacoal are our best sellers. And for a wire-free bra for heavier breasts is Evelyn and Bobby. They have a range of bras. One called the Defy that pulls over your head, and then there's the Beyond bra that has adjustable straps and opens in the back that goes up to 3X and fits quite an ample size. And no
That's
wires and seamless.
really, oh, see, that's good to know. That's great for women to be able to look into. And that kind of leads me into the drama of the strapless bra. I have yet to find, and I'm not that big busted, but I have yet to find a strapless bra that does not just slide down if you're wearing it.
That would be because the band is too big or the cups don't fit. It's usually the wrong size when something doesn't fit, because we sell a lot of strapless bras here, and we have actors that are tap dancing on Broadway in some of the bras that we sell. So there is a bra out there that'll stay up and fit you. Just have to make a little, everybody wants the magic thing to happen without making any effort. I want to sit in front of my computer and, oh, that looks nice. What's my size? I don't know. Let's just, go pick a random size, 36C.
Right.
Buy that. And you have to go and make a little bit of effort, especially if it's a special occasion. You want to look super good. You can't just buy a bra. You got to buy the bra for you for the occasion that you need it for. And there's a million options.
Right. And it can be overwhelming. When we were younger, we'd walk into Victoria's Secret and be like, I'll take that one. But that doesn't work as we get older anymore. Our body changes so much.
And what you want changes, what you're willing to do, and it changes as you get older. I never went out of the house without a bra before I was 60 years old. And this past summer, I had an accident. I broke both my ankles. So I was in a wheelchair, and I had to go to the doctor a few times. And I said, you know what? I'm not putting on a bra. I'm going out of the house. I'm not putting on a bra. That was the first time in my life I'm wearing a bra since I'm 13 years old. Because I just, you get properly dressed, and a bra is part of the wardrobe that you put on every day. But now I found the Evelyn and Bobby bras, and I like those. So.
Well, that's good. That's good to know. And, because women are confused about it. And I think it affects a lot of women's self-esteem when they put on a bra and it doesn't fit right, or they look in the mirror and the shirt shows the lines, or what do you notice for women when they get that right fit, when you give them a bra that actually supports them?
Women have burst into tears in our fitting room from happiness, that it's like, oh my God, I feel like Goldilocks. I finally found the one that's just right. We've got letters, thank you letters from people. You changed my life. I felt so bad about myself. We have mothers that call us. You changed my daughter's life. 12-year-old girl, she's a 34G, and thinks God is punishing her with these big breasts. And, she brought her in and we got her a sports bra that minimized the way she looked and made her feel strapped in and secure, so she wasn't self-conscious. Her mother said she became a different girl. Another woman said her daughter was a 30E, walked around like this for her whole life, and after putting on a bra that fit her, finally changed her whole personality. She was finally happy. So it can be a life-altering experience to have a bra fitting and find the thing you've been looking for most of your life that's eluded you. And it's so simple, but it
Yeah,
is the most inexpensive, most cost-effective, least painful way to change your appearance immediately
right.
by putting on a bra. There's no blood, there's no surgery, there's no anesthesia. 5 minutes and you look like you had a boob job.
Wow. And what's it like to style people like Bette Midler and, all the celebrities and the Broadway stars? Is it over, like when you walk in and they need to be sized? Is it a weird experience?
It is because, celebrities think they know everything. I knew Bette Midler from when she shopped at my old shop in when she was still doing the gay bathhouses, in the
Mm.
1970s. She used to shop at that store and she liked this big old strapless long line bra by the Goddess Bra Company because that was one of the only straplesses you could buy in a double D. And she always bought 36 double D in that bra. And when I finally met her when she was on a Broadway show, determined that she's really a 32F. She's tiny. She's really tiny, but she's got big boobs. And she was happy. And she said, it's like, I feel too wide here. But you have to be very diplomatic with celebrities because they go into fittings, they dictate what happens in the fitting. I'm sorry, you're coming into my world for a bra. You can't tell me what you need. You're here because you don't know what you need. So stop talking and listen to me and let me do what I'm supposed to do. And with celebrities, that's a little tricky.
That's really interesting, but not surprising, but really interesting. Do you like walk down the street and go, yeah, she should be into this? Like just notice women wearing the wrong bras.
Yes, when I was married, my ex used to go over to women that he would see in the street with big breasts that were bouncing up and down and give them a business card and say, come see my wife. And I said, someday somebody's going to stab you if you do that. Not such a good idea, but yes, I frequently would like to do an ambush makeover on somebody.
I can only imagine. And, one of the things that I think is so interesting are those suction cup bras. Do they really work? Because I've tried them
What?
much like the suctions that just kind of, it's like a gel and you just put it on your breasts and
Yeah.
do they actually, because I think they would slide down.
No, the glue that they use on the backing of that is pretty strong.
Does it
For
give you any
girls,
support?
not really, unless, they will add a little shape. And if you're wearing a skin tight dress that's going to hold your boobs in place, it's just like, I think it's more like a psychological thing for a lot of women. And up to a D cup, if your breasts have some integrity and they're still a little perky, they work, but you really don't get any lift. There's new tapes now, so you would start underneath your breast below your nipple and then you just like pull the whole thing up and tape it. So yes, you do get some lift, but it requires a fairly thick tape and fairly aggressive adhesive to hold up 10 pounds of boobs that way. But there's a lot of products on the market now that work very well for that.
And you carry all different things at the store. Can you tell me what you carry at the store?
Bras and shapewear are mostly what we're known for. We carry a lot of specialty, like for brides and bridal, low back things and bodysuits that are backless and plunge fronts. We carry a lot of shapewear.
Hmm.
We do a line of modesty pieces for the theater, like for nude scenes when men are supposed to look naked, but they really don't want to be naked. We have about 7 or 8 items that come in 3 different skin shades we sell for that. We have a line of hosiery that we sell for a skin layer for stage and screen. It comes in 8 or 9 different skin tones and up to 4X. and unusual things that you can't really go into Macy's or Bloomingdale's and ask for, like an open bottom girdle or stockings with seams, So we sell knee highs and ankle highs and thigh highs and stockings for girdles and garters and pantyhose and tights and support hose and sheer to the waist and control top. Anything that touches skin, we carry. And weird things like roll garters for stockings and sock garters for men and men's underwear.
I asked that because I looked on your website. I was like, okay, that's interesting for men. You know what I mean? But if you need it, then you know where to find it. So that's good. My last question would be, what are some absolute don'ts in the bra world for women? Like, you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that. What would be one or two don'ts that you would say to women?
There's like no bra police.
There's
You
fashion
want to do your
police, but
best to get something that fits you the best it can, and I think a lot of women waste a lot of money. It's like, I'm going to go to Target or I'm going to go to Kohl's or something, and oh, look, there's a $5 bra. But the best thing you can do is figure out what your size is, because then you can buy pretty much anything. But buying something because it's $5 when you don't know if it's going to fit or not, and then you can't return it, for me, that's kind of a waste of money. Learn your size and then wait until the end of the season when they're discontinuing prints and fashion and they're changing the laces, and then you can get an $80 bra for $40. Don't buy things just because they're cheap, and don't buy things just because they're expensive. Buy the best thing that you can afford for your life and your body.
And it sounds like take care of them so they last a little longer.
Yeah, and if you're a D cup, don't take your A cup friend shopping for a bra, because we've had girls here where, A cups think they're giving good advice to their friend who's an F, and it's like, don't listen to your friends if they don't have breasts and they don't identify with your particular problem having big breasts.
Right, because I know so many women who have back problems because of large breasts, and they're either not wearing the right bra or just carrying them all day.
Yeah, it's a lot to carry around, and it is a drag on the neck. I had breast reduction surgery 25 years ago because I had a pain in my neck that didn't ever go away, and I couldn't sleep. There was just so much there, and it's the best thing I ever did. I would do it in a heartbeat again.
Well, that's good to know. Lori, thank you so much for coming on and answering our questions on bra and shapewear. For a lot of women, it's an overwhelming process and they're uncomfortable every day. And when you're uncomfortable, it affects the way you live your life.
It sure does. Makes you crabby and cranky and not nice to be around.
And then add menopause onto it, and then no one wants to be around you. So
I have a friend, when she was going through menopause, we used to belong to a women's group, and we had weekly meetings, and she would just like stand up in the front of the room and take off her top and then tear off her bra. It's like just be so overwhelmed, like cooking from the inside out. She would be so hot that she would just strip in front of the room of women and say, "Excuse me, but I'm having a hot flash and I can't deal with it right now."
Oh my, do you ever have those we found cooling inserts that you can put into bras? They're like, Joy Lux carries them. There's a company called Joy Lux, and they carry. So if anybody ever asks, if they come in and say I'm menopausal and I'm like just having hot flashes, there's you put them in the freezer and then you can just insert them in your bras to keep you a little cool.
And put your bra in the freezer.
That's true. Bypass that and just stick your bra. That's a very good point.
Marilyn Monroe used to do that in the
really?
Put her bras in a freezer so she would stay cool.
She was ahead of her time. Thank you so much, Lori, for coming on. I appreciate it. And we appreciate all your answers to the questions that a lot of women have about their bras.
Thanks. And you can reach out to us at support@bratenders.com if you have any other questions.
Absolutely. And we'll have all those links in the show notes.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.